What's going on, beautiful jellyfish? It's Tracy. Thanks so much for taking a little bit of time today to hang out with me. I really appreciate it. The cats are in here. There's toys in here. They might make some noise, so if you hear anything wild, that's what it is. But today I'm going to be sharing with you guys a haul of a bunch of cards that I have. I actually have a ton of things. I don't actually remember if this is before Christmas or after Christmas, so it's been a while. So anyways, let's start with Omnath. I only have one card, and that is Soul Ring. I have a bunch of these that you're going to see in this video because I'm trying to get all the Soul Rings. I either prefer this art or the extended art. It just kind of depends on the deck if I want the old school feel or not, but this is the only card for Omnath. I have two cards for Tassigar, and you're like, Tracy, what? You got all the cards full for Tassigar, and you're right, but I did change the Soul Ring. I think I had the extended art that I put in Angels, I think is what I did, because I think that the old border fits Tassigar a lot better than Angels, for example, so I got this, and then I also got a Training Grounds. This is the Judge promo. I really, really like this card. I have gotten it off, and it's absolutely insane to activate Tassigar for 2. Let me just say that, so. I have that. I have, let's see, I have 3 cards for Angels, and they're all really exciting. The first I got is Urza's Incubator. The second I saw this got a reprint, I was so excited, and I did place an order where I got a bunch of these from, I don't even remember what this set is from, but I got a bunch of these, and I love this. The next thing I got is the Borderless Expedition map. This art is honestly just really, really stunning, and I really love it, so I got that for this deck. I probably won't get like every art in, probably won't get, because this art is pretty expensive. It's like $20, where the regular art is like $3 or so. And the last thing, and you know what, this was for Christmas, because Paul got me this as a Christmas gift, which is the Ancient Tomb foil. This is the Expedition foil. It is very expensive, but in my opinion, it is the best art. I love it. Okay, the next card is Ladies, and this feels like a really, really, really long time ago, but I got the Secret Lair for all of the talismans, and I actually, so I'd been playtesting with this for a while, and I actually realized that having 10 in this deck, along with my other Mana Acceleration, has just been too much. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to start to take out, and only run 5 of them in there, and so I'm only going to be running 5, but I do have all, this is actually an end because I've already taken one out, so I have to take out 4 more, so I don't know why I'm showing you guys the number 4, you know what the number 4 is, but anyways, so that is for Ladies. These are really, really pretty. I really like them. I think my favorite is, I really like this one, the Talisman of Progress. This one's the blue white one. I need an extra copy of this for Grand Arbiter, so yeah. Anyways, so that is that. And then I also got a Rishkar's Expertise because I wanted to have a little bit of mana acceleration. I wanted to have a little bit of draw cards in there, and I thought with Silver Queen, you know, you're drawing 7 cards off of that, which is really cool, so I got that in foil. And then the last one I got is Send Triplets because this is one of the cards that I ended up taking out for one of the talisman cards, and this card is just so fun. Come on. Okay. Well, fun for me, not fun for my opponents. Okay, let's talk about Alila next. I've only got 3 cards. The first one is Vidalcan Ori. I'm slowly working my way towards owning all of these in this specific art. I'm probably going to keep the OG art in Tassigar because that is just like, I have a lot of OG, like I have the old school Oracle of Moldiah in there. Like a lot of those old school foils I'll probably keep, but anyways, I love this art. This art is absolutely stunning. Purple's my favorite color, and it's just beautiful. Then I have this card, which this is a new to me card, which is called Robe of the Archmagi. I don't know how to say this, but with Alila, you can equip it for 1, which is really cool, and then you can draw that many cards when they deal damage. Card's great. And the last thing I got, I finally own one of the Galaxy foils. So I'm going to tell you something about these Galaxy foils that you might not know because I actually didn't know this. So something about the Galaxy foils is for a while I was like, wow, those are really expensive. They're like $100, $140 or whatever for them. That is for the sticker version or whatever, where the foiling is different. You're going to have to see like a side-by-side comparison. I obviously don't have that because I personally don't like the way that it looks because it has like little flecks of foil in there. I don't know how to explain it. You have to see it. But this is just the regular. That's called the Galaxy foil. This is just the regular foil, and these guys are like $30. They're stunning. If you like this art, I would honestly say the Galaxy foils are very weird. These are very pretty, and this one's one of my favorites. And I also want the Watery Grave for this because the Watery Grave is my favorite. So love that. Okay, let's talk about Rain. Rain got a bunch of new and fun, exciting things. So the first thing is the Soul Ring that I mentioned to you guys earlier. I then got the Arcane Signet, which for a while I was wanting the other art, and I actually prefer this one better, and it's much cheaper. This is only like $2 for the foil, so if you want these, scoop them up. They're really, really nice. I then got another mana acceleration, but this one is called Steward of Valerion. There's a good chance you've probably not seen this card before. It has been printed, I want to say, in like Shards of Alara, and this is some like special promo thing. I don't even know what it's from or whatever, but it's an older card. So anyways, yeah, just a mana acceleration for this deck. I am so excited about this. This card is so pretty, which is King Darian. I got this because it pumps your team for 5. If you've got nothing else to do with your mana, you can put a possible counter on it and create a soldier, which probably is not really the main feature of this card, but I do like this for sacrificing it. Creatures and tokens you control gain. I'm sorry, it's creature tokens you control gain hexproof and indestructible. Honestly, I really got it for the other creatures you control, +1/+1. So, and this art is stunning. So. Next up I got is a Worldly Tutor. You're going to see a couple of tutors in this video because I did purchase a bunch of them, and this one is for this deck. So I got this. This is like my favorite art as well. And then Paul so kindly, this was from Valentine's Day, I believe, got me a Gisela because he's like, you need a Gisela in there. And I think my old Gisela that I had, actually had once upon a time in Kalia went to him and he put it in Joda is I believe what happened, and so I don't have a Gisela anymore, and yeah, I'm putting it in here. So might get this for Angels too, I don't know. I think I have a Aurelia in there, and if I don't, I need one. So that is it for Rain. Now let's talk about Zombies. Zombies got a couple of cool things. The first thing I got is a Foil Worn Power Stone. Works really well in the set because it's monocolored. I also got a Nyx Lotus. This is the media promo. I really, really love this card, and I was playtesting it for a while, and I liked it, so I decided to pick it up in foil. This is only like $2-3. So I also got Painful Lesson because I like to draw cards, and this helps me do that. We talk about some zombie actual cards next. The first one is Cryptbreaker. This is actually quite an expensive zombie. This card was like maybe $15 or $16 for the foil. You can discard a card to put a zombie onto the battlefield, or you can tap 3 untapped to draw a card and you lose a life. It's only 1 mana. I think this is a really good card. This card is, I do not believe this card actually comes in foil. I think it was only in one of the commander decks, but that is called Tomb Tyrant. Basically, other zombies you control get +1/+1, which we have a ton of these buffs in the deck. You can sack a creature, return a zombie creature from your graveyard to your hand. Only activated if it's your turn and if there are 3 or more zombies. So you can sacrifice a token to get back your big thing, which is great. So this card's awesome. I don't think I've actually drawn it yet though. So this is a card though that I have drawn, and this card is really cool. It's called Tainted Adversary. It is kind of a lot of mana, but to be honest with you guys, I don't actually have, my curve is really low in this deck because I have a lot of cards like this, for example, or like this that are like 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. That's kind of where zombies sit. So I have like Josu Vest, which is in here, which is real big. But a lot of my stuff is on the cheaper side. I'm trying to cast multiple zombies in a turn, you know what I mean? This card is really cool. So it's a 2/3 Death Toucher. When it ETBs, you can pay 3 any number of times. When you you can put that many +1/+ counters on it and then twice that many tokens. So I do this for 3 and then I get 6. I do it for 3 and then I get 6 2/2s, and they do have Decayed, but honestly, it doesn't really matter. You attack with them, you got a bunch of damage. And if you have your things that buff your team, those 2/2s are now 3/3s or 4/4s. So it's a great card. I like it a lot. Succumb to Temptation. Pretty basic. I'm sorry if these cats are bothering you guys, but it's honestly so cute. Like, I can't disturb them. This was also a gift from Paul. I don't remember if this was from Valentine's Day or from Christmas, but Phyrexian Arena, which is really, really exciting. This specific art is not very cheap. This is also a 9th edition foil, so it's not super cheap, but it is super pretty. Love this. Okay, we are transitioning now into, let's see, we've got 3 more decks left. Let's do Mugus. Mugus has a bunch of things. I've been really enjoying actually playing this deck a lot recently, and so that is really exciting. So let's just jump into it. So the first thing I have is Staff of Domination. I don't know if this card is actually going to stick. It probably won't. I'll probably tuck it out for something else. I do have actually some card draw in here. I don't really necessarily think I need this, and it's also 5. I think it does other things, which is fine, but I don't really think I need it. I think this card's fine, you know? Then I have Braids, which I'm so incredibly excited about. This card is so cool, and I love it too. I've been trying to lower the curve a lot in Mugus to make it a little bit more competitive. It's my least powerful deck. I'm not trying to make it incredibly powerful, but I wanted a couple other things to make it better, and this card does. This card is so cool. I love it. Okay, this is a new card to me that one of my friends, Matt, was telling me about, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is that card name? Because I need it, and that is Vran. This is from Phyrexia. But basically it says whenever one or more other creatures you control dies, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2. It only triggers once each turn, but if you're having a lot of things die, you have your opponent's drain and then you gain life. Love this card. Very good. Also, not very expensive. I think it's under $1. Okay, the next we have is another Arcane Signet. I think I just bought a bunch of these in bulk, and I also got a Worn Power Stone for that mana acceleration. I next got Gravelighter. I have a bunch of these type of effects in this deck. I like this one a lot because it says draw a card if a creature died this turn. Otherwise, each player sacks a creature. I like how you can kind of do whatever you need to based on the circumstance. I also really love this art. Can we talk about the background of that? That is so stunning. Very cheap foil as well too. And then I got Demon's Disciple. I have a bunch of these types of effects that are these 3 mana cards that when they ETB, each player sacks a creature. But this one's also a planeswalker, so if they don't have any creatures, they sack a planeswalker. I like it. Okay, next up I have is Morbid Opportunist. This says whenever one or more creatures dies, draw a card. It only triggers once each turn, but I like it. There's no effect. I have a lot of cards in here that will drain me life if I am drawing cards that kind of punish me for drawing cards, but this one's kind of like a freebie in the sense where I don't have to pay life. So yeah, I like it. Okay, the next I have is Revel in Riches. Paul got me this in foil, which I'm really, really excited about, which this is like one of the win conditions in the deck. This is like, again, I'm not trying to go super hard with this deck, so this is probably one of the most aggressive cards in this, but this card's funny. Okay, I then have Etali, and I love Etali. I have one of my friends actually has an Etali deck. If I can get him on here, I think it'd be really cool to do a deck tech with that. He's a baby. He's in college, so he is like, you know, off doing that or whatever. But I gotta grab him to film a deck tech for you guys because the deck is really sweet. Etali is awesome. This is, again, very aggressive card in this deck. I did want it to put it, and I was like, I just want to put Etali in something. What can I do? And I was like, let me just throw it to Mugus. It doesn't really fit like the theme about sacrifice, but honestly, who cares? This card is really cool. I love it. If I could build Etali as a commander, like I would. That's how much I love this card, and it's red. Like, can we just take a moment? And the last card, I finally picked up a Terror Grid. I was just like, I'm done waiting around for this card. What are you waiting for, Tracy? I don't know. This card is absolutely ridiculous. My friend Trav has or had, I don't know, he changes his commander decks every like 3 days. So I cannot keep track of like what he has these days and what he doesn't. But Terror Grid was or is one of his commanders, and this card is absolutely busted. Whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent, like we talked about sacrifice in so many of these cards we just talked about, or discards a card, you can put it on the battlefield. I love this card so much. I'm so excited to play with it. I can't wait. Okay, let's talk about Grand Arbiter now. The first thing actually is Grand Arbiter. Paul so kindly, I don't know if I mentioned this in any of my videos, but Paul and I do this really silly thing in our relationship where we bet on very silly things. So the bet that we had done was on Christmas Eve, and we take a walk on Christmas Eve, and we walk through our neighborhood. We live in Texas. It doesn't get that cold. And we basically take a walk, and we, you know, walk around, see all the lights. And I had said, oh, we had been gone without checking the time. I was like, oh, we've been gone for about 45 minutes. And Paul's like, no, it's been like 30. So anyways, we bet on it. I won. I rolled a D20. I got $50 worth of Magic cards, and one of the cards that I got was Grand Arbiter. To be honest with you guys, I don't remember what of the other cards was in this stack. That was also the value. But I had said, I was like, specifically, could you also get me the foil Grand Arbiter? This is the Judge promo, I believe. It's really, really cool. Anyways, that's a fun little way to spice up your relationship if you're looking for something, you know, fun to do. Okay, the first card the second card, I guess, for Grand Arbiter is I got Crawl Space. The second this card was reprinted, I picked it up because I don't have a ton of creatures in this deck and I wanted a little bit of protection, and Crawl Space gets me there. Also, this card is very cheap for the foils, like $1 or $2. Then I got Negate. This just happens to be my favorite art. This is the M20 art. This might have been used in other things too, but I really, really like it. So very pretty. I then got a Lavinia. This is Azorius Renegade. I love this card so much. You don't never know what you're stopping. You know, sometimes your opponents will say things like, oh, I can't cast my X because of you. But most of the time your opponents just don't say anything and you have no idea what, you know, you're impacting by stopping this. I love Lavinia. I think this is like the game day promo or store championship promo. Then I got an Aven Mind Sensor because I figured I'm Death and Taxes. Of course I need an Aven Mind Sensor. And this is the old school art. Very cheap, good card. I then, as we've been mentioning, I picked up like 4 or 5 of these soul rings, the old border, and then I got the mystical and enlightened tutor. Paul, for I believe Valentine's Day, had picked me up. I picked up the regular borders, and then I had also mentioned that I liked the old borders, and so I had put the old borders in here, and then the other ones, to be honest with you guys, I don't even remember where I put the other ones, but anyways, I have the green one. I will tell you is NAEC, but you guys will see that in the deck text. So anyways, that is that, and then the last deck is Riku. Wow, I feel like we've been here for a really long time. Okay, anyways, the first card is Breeding Pool foil. I just got the base foils for this. I got Splinter Twin, and then I guess while we're here, we'll also mention the Deceiver Exarch, because I got both of these in foil. Very cool. Sol Ring, we've been mentioning this a lot lately, but I picked it up. I then also got the Is It Signet. This was the last one that I was missing because I have all the others in foil. I then got Goblin Anarchaeomancer, which this card is really cool. If you're playing these two colors, I definitely recommend throwing this in there. I love having my spells cost less, so this card helps me do that. I have Darksteel Plate, and very similar to that, I have Mask of Avacyn because I wanted ways of protecting Riku. I already have Boots and I have Greaves, but I figured let's add 2 more. This card is really cool. This is new to me. It's called Riptide Laboratory. If you're playing wizards, I'd really recommend playing this. Or if your commander is a wizard, I recommend playing this because if someone goes to kill your commander, you can bounce it back to your hand. Love that for us. I picked up a Chromatic Lantern foil. I got 3 visits. This is the full extended border. I love this card. I also got Sylvan Scrying, which this one just happens to be my favorite art, but I love this card. Next up, I have Solve the Equation, which I really enjoy this card. I have a couple of different tutors in this deck, and this is one of them. I don't have like Mystical Tutor because that goes to the top, so with Riku it doesn't make as much sense, so I run this card. Rewind, I don't even honestly remember getting this foil. To be very honest, this must have been in like a trade or something, but anyways, got that. And the last card is I got a just base, I believe this is Eternal Masters or whatever Masters, Eternal Witness. So that is everything. So yeah, guys, that's it for this haul. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I'll catch you on my next one.